going to be... Today, it's just going to be a thumbs up day. Okay. Hello, hello. Hi, Susan. Hi, Madeline. Hello, Trish. I remember Trish's name. Sandra, Laura. Hi, Laura. Sorry I missed Wednesday live, but I had to work. Oh, I hope you caught the replay. And Needleworker 105, I think is Kimberly, but I'm not 100% sure. I'm still working on remembering that, committing that to memory. How was Tarpon Springs? We didn't go to Tarpon Springs. It was supposed to... Hi, Angie. Okay, so you guys can hear me now. Good, good, good. You'll have to say that all again. We didn't go to... Making sure I'm up to date on the comments. Hi, Diane. Hi, Dubrovka. Steve is fabulous. Hi, Robin. Hi, Shannon. Hi, Alex. We didn't go to Tarpon Springs. And we didn't go to Tarpon Springs because I was checking the weather and they said that there was going to be thunderstorms like all day long. And honestly, I think it was one of the last times we did either Tarpon Springs or St. Augustine, and we just got drenched. And I just wasn't, I mean, I don't mind it. You know, usually if it's like a drizzle or if it's like, you know, you get one rainstorm and then it's over. But I just wasn't up for dealing with the rain and Minnie and all that stuff. So we stayed home. We got a bunch of stuff done. We watched the Ryder Cup. Just don't. Just don't on the Ryder Cup. Don't. And then, guess where we went last night? We went and saw Downton Abbey. Okay, so here's what we're going to work on today while we're chatting, and I'll tell you about what I thought about the movie. I'm falling off my chair. We are going to... We're going to finish this. We're going to heat them down. Now, I had the whole thing laid out yesterday when I did my little short. Hi, Jean. Laura. No kidding, Laura. It's just awful. It's awful. So sad. Yeah, and it wasn't crazy, you know, important that we go to Tarpon Springs, so we just decided to stay home, and I was so glad that we did. And then we went to the movies last night. We were going to go to the movies tonight, and it was going to make today too busy, and so it worked out beautifully. I had all of this laid out perfectly, and I thought I'm not going to press it until I'm on Sunday, and then everybody can see me press it down, and we'll figure out what we're going to do after that. And I went to go move something, and I hit the corner, and the whole thing, I had to redo the whole thing. So that's what we're going to do right now. Hi, Erlene. But you know what I was thinking? I don't know if you guys saw my short from yesterday. So we were at Harbor Freight. Thanks, Diane. Thanks, Sandra. I don't remember why we were there. It doesn't matter. And I found these literally $1.99. And they're picks. Little pick and hook. Okay? How handy is this? Even for something like this, where you're trying to move something around and you don't necessarily want, you know, I have big hands, and so sometimes you don't want to get your fingers in there. Or when you're gluing stuff, I'm going to try this when I got my... Hi, Betsy. Just got in from a dog walk. Yay! Minnie's being Sunday lazy. She's still sitting on the bed watching her doggy shows, eating her kibble. With binding, I think that this is going to be really handy when I do the binding on the bee quilt, and I'm going to do that today. I'm going to trim this off and get the binding ready for that one. Yes, like a stiletto. Okay, So I gotta relay this stuff again. Oh, all right. And I wanted to talk about something that I saw the comment. Steve actually, the comment really stuck out to Steve, and so we were talking about it the other day, Friday, maybe Thursday or Friday. And it was something that I mentioned on my. Hang on, let me just make sure that I'm not missing, that I haven't lost anything here. Let's just make sure we have all the little acorn pieces. These acorn pieces, holy cow, they're tiny. So let me just make sure we've got this stuff. Oh, that's what I was going to say. Oh, this one goes with this. This is October. We're going to do October. I'm feeling so encouraged by how this went together and how it really was. When I got these and signed up for this, it was a Project of the Month Club at the quilt show. It was a quilt show in California, so that tells you how long these have been in my stash. And they said, oh, they're so easy. It's a great beginner project. And I was like, I kept looking at it and I was like, then I would open it up and kind of glance at the instructions and I would say, this does not look like it's beginner friendly at all to me. And it was so completely beginner friendly. And then I was thinking to myself, I'll tell you about the comment in a minute. So this is October's. Is this adorable? Adorbs. So I think maybe this coming week you know what, Diane? Harbor Freight. Okay, hold on. Hang on. Hey, let me go back. I'm missing comments. Let me go back and answer the comments. Okay. Harbor Freight has amazing quilting tools. Don't tell them they'll raise their prices. Okay. I have, these little things, these little sectiony things that I put on my, especially a larger ruler, although I need to get some more because I think they're great on any ruler. It's a little suction cup, right? You open it up like this. Okay. Usually you need to clean it. This one's got fuzz on it, so clean it. And then you set it down, right? Ow. Look at this. Look. It's on there. And now your ruler has a handle. And when you're holding it down, I love it because you're holding it down and it keeps it for the most part, okay, from moving around so that you can cut. I don't even think these are $1. If they're $1 or $2, that's about it. But you go on a lot of quilting websites, and I'm not knocking quilting websites or sewing stores or anything like that, or shopping. I'm not knocking any of that stuff. But sometimes this stuff, I don't want to pay an arm and a leg because that takes away from fabric money or backing or batting or, the fun stuff, right? This is not fun stuff. This is just, right? So these little things are Harbor Freight. One day we'll do a show on Harbor Freight stuff. These little things, this little pick set that I got picked up, fantastic. $1.99. I've got other stuff in here from Harbor Freight. I had a little magnet cup, which was great for pins or just loose things. Fantastic. Okay. Oh yeah, Betsy just said magnetic bowls. The magnetic bowls are cool. And again, a couple dollars. Okay. I'm so excited about the bee quilt. Yeah, me too. I was in here yesterday. I took a little bit of a break from cleaning and laundry. And came in and worked a little bit on this. We're going to trim it up. I'm going to get the binding on. And then we really will do the tying tomorrow. I've been trying to think in my mind on the tying for the bee quilt. Let me turn this camera off really quick. So I've been thinking a bit on the tying, because usually when you tie a quilt, I should have brought the quilt I did for Steve's birthday in here. Because it was a quilt that, I forget what you call it. We sewed the whole thing. I did the whole quilt top, sewed it right sides together, and then flipped it inside out. That was it. And then, but they were all 5-inch squares. The whole quilt top was 5-inch squares. So then you, in order to tie it, you basically you thread up your yarn on a needle and you weave it through the whole quilt, and then you snip and tie, snip and tie, snip and tie. Because it becomes like just one long string attached to the whole quilt. I'll bring that in one time. But these are so far apart, I guess the question is, would you just do it individually? I don't know that I need to connect all of the points together. I don't think that serves any purpose other than ease when you're doing a big quilt. Okay. Madeline, I hear you, Madeline. Harbor Freight for the win. Okay, I am working on finding out from So Cherished. So the wool applique around the year project. I am working on finding out from her. So give me until tomorrow's video. Tomorrow evening's video, I'll have an update on the So Cherished monthly project things, because they're fantastic. They're now becoming a lot of fun. Okay. Oh, thanks, Sandra. Hey, be sure to give us a thumbs up or some hearts. Just even the hearts. Okay, Robin's point. It's always fun to do different types of projects. Angela, read it. Gives you a reset when you go back to quilting. It's especially when you're working on large projects, which is why I had said, Steve and I had been talking this week about some of the video stuff I want to do this week. And what we had said was, like, I'm done with big quilts just for a bit. I'm going to work on the Blue Petals quilt kind of off and on and get the sashing done and get that one finished. But I don't have a lot of the stuff that I need for that quilt yet. So I want to get back to some smaller projects, because those are fun. They give you a great sense of accomplishment. Wow, Alex, that sounds very cool. A faux leather quilt. Woo! A wooden chest for $83. Great for all things small. That's a very good idea, Madeline. The reason I stopped on that one is I need a small chest of drawers or a small dresser for my guest room. So I was like, oh. Not that kind of a chest of drawers. Okay. Yeah, if you're looking for something that is like more logistical in nature, a suction cup thingy, these little pins, something to kind of make life a little bit more ergonomic or a little easier, I think Harbor Freight's a great place to stop at first. I also think Home Depot is a great place to stop at first. Obviously, Home Depot, massive amount of stuff. But I always find stuff in Home Depot that I think, oh, I'm going to start taking pictures of that stuff, because I think they're great opportunities to get some of the stuff that you need, like the gloves, these little bins. I need to work on that this afternoon, too. I need a real rainy day, because it will force me to stay inside. 5-inch squares, they're perfect for 5-inch squares or project bins. This little one right here, it's a great project bin. In fact, in this one is a project, and you can kind of roll the whole project up, set it in there. It's not going to get all dirty. It's not going to get separated. Okay. Jean says, I so enjoy working with wool. I blanket stitch on my Bernina. Takes some time, but it's worth it, and love the way it looks when it's done. Okay, so that's the question, is when we finish this, do we want to try and hand stitch some of it? Or do we want to put it on the machine? I don't know. You know how I feel about my hand stitching skills. Okay. Hi, Susan. And when we moved the room around, I know it's in here somewhere. Hang on, let me see if I have it. Hold on, don't leave. Don't leave yet. Don't go. Oh, this is something else that was a Harbor Freighter. I don't know where I put my handle. It'll turn up. I know it's around here somewhere. I saw it. They have a suction cup handle that you put on like the wall of your shower. You know, if you need somebody that needs a little extra help, right? And it's much larger. Where is that darn thing? Anyway, it's probably about 12 inches long, 8 to 12 inches long. And it's a handle, you know, you put it in the shower so you have kind of a grip, or near the, you know, the commode. Helps you to get up. For longer rulers, I used it on my ruler that I think was like a 23-inch ruler or 24-inch ruler. It really suctions on good, and it keeps the whole ruler from moving while you're cutting. It's fantastic. I showed you guys the cotton swab assortment that I had last week that I use for if I'm having trouble with gluing the binding. These are great. There's all these different sizes. I don't know why you would need for the world's biggest ear. But there's super tiny ones. You know, some in here that are actually like smaller than a regular Q-tip, and that have a really long handle. So if you're cleaning lint or stuff out of your bobbin casing or out of your machine, these are fantastic. And it's wound so tight that you're not getting fuzz from this in there, right? It's really helping to be a grabber. This was a couple of dollars. There's 175. Come on. If you go on a sewing website or a quilting website, you're gonna pay big bucks for something like that. Okay. A lot of wool applique. It's a lot of fun. It's not the kind of thing you want to do exclusively. I mean, some people do. They love it. Oh, I have to find the pillow. Oh my God, I found it. I also found the thread assortment that I bought. Oh, I found it. I might work on this today while I'm watching the open. I keep calling it the open. It's the Ryder Cup. Now this pattern was from Deb Eggers at Cottage Rose Quilt Shop. Tomorrow I will be much better, I promise. And I will have Steve tag this stuff in the description, in the video description tomorrow, for tomorrow's video. But you have to make me a promise. Tell him that Angela from Quarter Inch Seam sent you. And then maybe they'll get us maybe we'll get some exclusive stuff, or maybe we'll get some deals, you know, on some of their projects. So this is by Deb Eggers, the Cottage Rose Quilt Shop. And it's a pillow. It's just a little tiny pillow, like a little accent pillow. But I have everything cut out. And we're going to finish this. I just found it. It's amazing the stuff I find around here. Okay. This applique stuff is fun. It's a lot of fun. I agree, Aunt Madeline. Alex living and crafting with MS says, I've never used or done anything with wool. I was very intimidated by it. I couldn't figure, like my brain couldn't really wrap itself around it. It's fantastic. You're going to love this when we finish it. I don't have my mug from Robin because I used it last night. It's in the sink. And honestly, I barely made it here at 11:30. Okay. Didn't they used to call it tacking when you tie a quilt? Probably. Diane's done a lot of applique. Oh, Susan. Don't forget to put your quilted jackets on the Facebook page and on the YouTube community page. Please don't forget to post those because, and I will, I've got to get better at commenting and going through all of those. The quilted jacket thing right now is hot. Do I want to make a jacket? I don't know. Do I feel empowered enough to make a jacket? I agree. I think that a lot of times, Madeline said it, you know, sometimes you need a palate cleanser. I do the same thing when I'm reading. I do the same thing with a lot of things. And sometimes that's very, very, very important. You can work on a big project, like the bigger quilts that we've done this month, and get to the point where you lose a little bit of enthusiasm because it becomes a little bit monotonous because it's a longer project. And so I think if you do stuff that is a bit of a palate cleanser, something like these projects that are small, quick, and you get bang for your buck. It's very important to have that palate cleanse because it keeps you excited about two things: the small project and the big project. Okay. A Bible scene quilt. Holy cow! I bet that's amazing. We are going to do this year, we'll do it for Christmas time because it's a great gift. I had gotten some, those fabric books for kids. And I have one that is, I think, the story of the Ark. So we'll do that one for Christmas. Betsy is crazy. Please click the like button. Yes, please give us a like. Yeah, there's a lot of people on. Give us a like. Doesn't cost you nothing. Okay. Oh, hand sewing. I know. I'm gonna get a grasp on hand sewing, which brings me to my next point. I take a break from quilting and do cross stitch or crochet. I agree. Right now I kind of go between quilting and reading. But the other day, because we talked so much about crochet, and I was talking to my tax lady, and guess what she loves to do? Crochet! Then I started picking up my crochet stuff. Pumpkin runner. So I do need to do, between now and the end of October, we've got to get some pumpkin projects done. And one is going to be a skinny wall hanging. So it's going to be like the width, more or less, of a table runner. So you could use it as a table runner or you could use it as a wall hanging. And I've mentioned this before. I have a post in my entryway, and it's probably about 18 inches wide. It's just a post, right in the entryway. You know what a post is in your house. I don't need to explain a post. Anyway, and it just bothers me because it's very bare, and it's a perfect place to hang something like this. So you can either use the project as a wall hanging, or you could use it as a table runner. And I'm thinking pumpkins. So we're going to do that probably in another week or two. Hi, Loretta. Of my cabinet, best money I've ever spent. So head over afterwards, go over to the YouTube community or click on the YouTube community page and you can see Madeline's cabinet. Oh, there's something. Dumbbells work great too. Dumbbells work great. You can also get the head of, which is something you can get at Harbor Freight. So do you guys know what oh crap, what's that called? Oh, Steven. What's it called? It looks like a hammer, but it's not a hammer. And they're real big. Not an axe. I'll draw it. I hope it's just menopause brain. Because sledgehammer. This thing. It's a sledgehammer. There. That's the word. Sledgehammer. sledgehammer. You can buy at Harbor Freight just the head from a sledgehammer. Works just like a dumbbell. Organizational containers, amen. I think that Steve wants a big tool chest for the garage, but I was thinking the other day that would also be something that you could put if you wanted it. You know, we all want our sewing rooms to be all cutesy and pretty, but I want mine to be functional. And I don't want it to cost me a fortune. Okay. Great containers. Hold on. Dumbbells. I don't think it's a masterpiece, but I did enjoy making and designing it. Okay, Betsy. I use a grip strip on my ruler. Grip strip. Very good. The swabs are fantastic, and I use them all the time. Yes, Donna Jordan used dumbbells. Cute pillow design. It's cute. Okay. Yes, absolutely. We're going to do the pillow. Yeah, this coming week, you've got to get your pictures in because this week is we're going to do our giveaway. I taught myself crochet. I've taught myself this with you guys' help. Well, taught is a loose word for me, but whatever. Okay. It's too hot for Florida to crochet. Okay. Blah, blah, blah. QuiltCon. Yes, we are going to be at QuiltCon in Raleigh in February. Thank you, Betsy. We will be there. So as we get closer, maybe just after the holidays, we'll start kind of planning that a little bit better, and we'll do like a meetup or something. Yes, mallet, sledgehammer. Yes. I use my doorstop fisherman as a weight. He's a cast iron old fellow. Very, very good. Okay, and now I'm caught up on the comments. Now I got to get this thing relayed out. So here's what we got to do. We've got to get the pieces. It all went flying. And some of my, you know what, while we're here, some of these little edges could be a little bit better. Even though most of it's going to get covered up by you know, when you put a stitch down over it, it doesn't mean we have to be. Okay, so there's our half point. So let's put him right there. Let's do a little bit better job on this. Somebody asked the other day what I'm reading now. I'm reading Night. I forgot the name of it now. It's the. What is bothering me here? This. Okay, that's good. Yeah. So that one sits a little bit further down. You know, if I keep messing with this, it's gonna be a mess. There we go. Okay, that's better. All right. Okay, and then this guy goes. You guys see that? We'll put it right there. This guy goes a little bit right there, and then oh, they're too far apart. Okay. Okay, so now we got the pumpkin down. Let's make sure that that looks kind of squared up. All right, and then the leaves. Something I didn't do right with these leaves. I don't. Oh, you go over here. That's the problem. Okay, so this one goes over here, and then this piece gets, does the middle part go slightly on top of the sides? Yes. Thank you, Jean. I almost missed that. I was so busy trimming the pumpkin that I almost missed that. Okay, so now we've got this coming up here, and now I'm trying to put it where you guys can see it too. Let's do like that. Ah, there, that's better. Okay, now the leaves. What side am I on? On this side. I cut these leaves out, and then I couldn't figure out what leaf was which was which. Okay, that's not that one. I think this is... Nope. Am I missing a leaf? No. Did I just not cut them out very well? Probably. Oh yeah, that's that one. Okay, so now it's this leaf. There we go. Okay, now you're gonna go over here in just a second. You go right here, kind of pointing down a little bit. There we go. Oh, the pumpkin. Yes. Okay, so I fixed the pumpkin part, right? Did I get that right? Yes. The stem and the pumpkin. Okay. So now the leaf, now we got to do this here. Comes off of this one right there, I think. Yeah, I think I might have cut some of the leaf parts a little bit wonky. So we're going to we'll ignore that. Let's not talk about it. Okay, acorns. There's one, this acorn I know goes over here because its top is a little weird. And this acorn, no. This one goes over here. Oh, this is the smaller one. Okay, so this one comes off of this. The one thing I meant to look at Harbor Freight yesterday when we were there that I didn't was tweezers. Because that, in all honesty, is really what I need. A pair of, not tweezers, but like needle nose pliers. You know, a very thin set. When we had our embroidery business, we used needle nose pliers for everything because the threading the machine and all that kind of good stuff, there weren't automatic threaders. There weren't, this goes back a little ways, and these were commercial machines. So we used needle nose pliers for everything. We had multiple sets. When you were trimming work, when you were doing finishing work on the embroidery, we used needle nose pliers everywhere, and everybody had their own special, that they really loved set. And now I have no clue where any of those have gone. So, Stephen, if you're listening, we are going to have to go to Harbor Freight. Just all there is to it. Okay, now the leaves. Okay. Honestly, I don't even know what this is. I guess it's supposed to be a leaf. Okay. That one I don't know. That may not be a leaf. That may just be a cutout. Look in Steve's garage. I'm pretty sure I'll probably find what I need in Steve's garage or my makeup case. Yes, my makeup case. Although the problem with the ones that I have for my makeup case, they're too the great thing about needle nose pliers. So maybe today or tomorrow we will wander over there and I will pick up a set, because the advantage to a really good set of a really fine needle nose pliers as opposed to a tweezer is you're going to hold it more like a pair of scissors. You know, you're going to hold it, well, like a pair of pliers. And so you have a better grip in your hand, but you still have that long, nice extension. I'll show you guys what I mean. Okay, now we've done this. We did the acorns, and now I need this small leaf. Which one are you? You're too big. I think you go. Where have these leaves come from? Did I cut these leaves? You're not going to believe what I just heard. My husband. He's a keeper. Sorry, ladies. He's taken. I just heard the door to the garage open. And I'll bet you money. Okay. This one is the small one up there, but somehow some of these things don't feel like they were reversed correctly. Maybe it was me. I don't know. I don't know. Okay, so this leaf's going to go up right above. I told you guys. Look at that. So when we go to Harbor Freight, I'm going to get one that has an even tinier point here. But see how much easier it is? Like, you have much more control with your hand without having to get your hand in the way. But you can grab stuff and maneuver it the same way that you would with a tweezers, but you're not gonna get that hand cramp from your tweezers that are, you know, so tiny. That's why I love needle nose pliers. I suggest them in everyone's sewing room. I told you that's where he went. Yeah, you don't want something quite this bulky. I'll show you. I'll get him, I'll show you. Okay, so we got that leaf on. That one goes in there. I need the little leaf for in here, which I think, no? I feel like I'm missing leaves. Or I just didn't cut them out very well. I don't know. It could be, listen, there's a million reasons why. So let's not go down that rabbit hole. Okay. Yes, if you do jewelry making, way to go, Steve. Steve for the win. If you do jewelry making, you probably already have multiple, because the stuff is so tiny, and if you tried using tweezers, your hand would be in this permanent position. So anyway, okay, big one, those two, this little guy. I'm gonna have to start ironing some of this stuff down, because and this actually needs to tuck in a little bit more. Just a wee bit more. Because there's another leaf that's supposed to go over here. Which I don't know what leaf that's supposed to be. Oh, this is the one for the end. Okay, so this one goes here. And then the other big one, this guy, goes just off of here. Okay, so that's right. So this, again, gotta move it down just a little bit because this is gonna cross over that center line just a wee bit. Yeah. This has got to be that other leaf. And she goes right there. Now, this acorn is going to come off of here, right? Kind of off of right under there. Look off the wool mat. We can see something there. Look, oh shoot. This. Yeah, no. I thought maybe I missed a cut. But I will tell you what I really think happened is I think my tracing just wasn't all that fantastic. It's okay. They're applique leaves. It's not, which again, okay, Angela, don't get distracted this time. Finish your thought. But let me get this guy going here. Okay. So that, this, I know those little cutouts because they drove me nuts go in there. Okay. And now the acorn comes off of this little thing here. Okay, Susan posted some pictures in the community page. Yahoo! Honestly, I think this needs to tilt a little bit more. Yeah, it does. This way. So that this comes over a little bit. So that this comes over just a little bit. So that his tail didn't quite come out exactly, but maybe when I put some stitches in it, it'll look a little better. Okay, now this acorn, here's the other issue. My hands are a little dry. So the wool keeps sticking to my dry hands. Okay. Squirrel. Squirrel! Just kidding. I'm just kidding. Okay. There. Leaf. Ah! See, this is where I'm... I will say what I do feel like I'm missing is a little piece of this stuff. And I don't want to keep bringing it in. Maybe that's what I need to not do, is not bring it in much. There. Aha. I think I'm missing a tiny piece of brown, but or that this was supposed to be a little bit longer. Nope. I know what I did. This goes over here because it's supposed to cut out a little bit for the leaf. Okay. I'm sure there's a better way to organize some of this stuff. Okay, now this over here. Goes okay. Tweezers are great for so many things. Okay. Thank you, Jean. Yeah, sometimes I have a tendency and I have to kind of stop myself and say, you know what, it doesn't have to be exactly like the picture. Like this stupid acorn. This acorn is giving me fits. Okay. Now, there we go. I think that's pretty good. I think that that's going to be pretty good. And sometimes pretty good is really good. The only thing we want to make sure of is, please stop moving. And we are missing a leaf. But you know what? We might be okay without it. Yeah. Uh-huh. See? Oh my God. I can't believe we still have these. Okay. These we used at our actual embroidery company when we had our store. And these were my favorite. And we used to fight over them. Do you see how tiny, look how tiny that point is. Doing great, Grasshopper. Thank you, Madeline. They come to such a perfect point and they come so perfectly together. They don't have really big teeth. That's one problem with if you're going to buy yourself some needle nose pliers. These are needle nose pliers. If you're going to buy yourself some needle nose pliers, you need one that's got you don't want them smooth. The inside should not be smooth. It should have a little bit of teeth, but you don't want them to be really aggressive teeth. And here's why. If they're smooth, whatever you're holding, like the thread, will just slide right through. If the teeth are too aggressive, the thread will just slide right through, or it will be too aggressive of a grip. These have just the tiniest amount of teeth in there, right in there, and it's got enough of a handle that you can grab stuff. These are, I can't believe we still have these. Somebody just said, don't touch anything. I think I'm not going to touch it anymore. We're good? Nothing's falling weird or missing its mark. Okay, now let's get the iron on. Okay, and while we're getting the iron on, were you a Boy Scout? You're always prepared. Oh, he was a Boy Scout. He was almost an Eagle Scout. And we don't like throwing things away. Now, we're not hoarders by any stretch of the imagination. So I don't have like rooms full of like packed to the ceilings full of stuff. But here's the thing. Like, I will probably take these this afternoon, and this is not grease because they weren't used in the garage. They were used in our embroidery business. So this is just like spray adhesive or sheets of adhesive that we used to do. God, what did they used to call it? Anyway, that kind of separated the stitch from the fabric. It kept it floating a little bit. Anyway, so I'm just going to put some WD-40 or some Goo-Gone on here and then wash them really, really good and let them dry really good. But like I don't need to go out and buy a new pair. Nothing wrong with these. Okay. I just bought a pressing cloth. So Jean, before I do this, do you mean a pressing cloth for this or a pressing cloth for the other stuff that we used to do? Okay, so 21 pieces. Oh, Madeline, I have a pair of shears from my mom's knitting store. A knitting store. I was 15 when she closed up shop, and I won't let them go. Amen. I do have a pressing cloth. Should I use that? That would probably be not such a bad idea. Will my iron ruin the wool? I don't know. I have no idea. But there is something I want to do. Let me get that. Well, it's not really a pressing cloth. It's a. I don't know if you guys can still hear me. It's this. You know, a sheet. Like a Teflon sheet. Shall we try that? All right, we'll try it. Okay, the iron is heating up. So while that's going, let's go look at the internet. What are the directions on the pattern? Oh, thank you, Jean. When you're happy with the placement, iron all the shapes in place with a steam iron. Yeah. Teflon sheet. Okay, I think that's what we're going to use. Teflon sheet. Okay, let me get rid of these little papery things because they're driving me bananas. I was watching, well, Steve and I were this morning. We were having coffee in bed, and we were watching quilting shows. My poor husband. Actually, I woke up, and he was already had the television on, and he had quilting channels on already. So, that's all I'm saying. And I woke up and that was what my eyes fixed on. And he said, wow, look at this channel. Wow, they're really doing some nice stuff here. God. Okay, but here's what we're going to do. Hang on. Don't leave. I know. Okay, I think I know how to do this. You ready? We'll see. If I can do it right, Steve will be quite impressed. I did it. Yes. Okay. Here is Susan just did this quilt for her granddaughter. Look at that. Oh my God, how pretty. Some batiks in there. That is fantastic, Susan. Fantastic job. Can you guys, I hope you guys can see. Tell me if you can see. Hi, Donna. Okay. Susan. Oh my gosh, with birds. Oh, I love Oh, I love little birds. Oh my gosh, look how pretty that is. Oh my gosh, Susan. Oh my gosh, look at that jacket. That is fantastic. That was very creative. I love the way she mixed up the stars there. That's fantastic. All right, let's see. There's Susan's jacket again. Shannon did a quick fall tabletopper. Perfect. Love it. I love it. I love doing these, kind of these larger tabletoppers and then doing a plate with some fun decor in it. I love it. That's how my scattered falling leaves tabletopper is on my table. I have to put my own pictures up on here. Oh, that's very, you know what we keep talking about. Don't forget in November, we're doing our, we need a good name. Somebody's going to have to give me a good name for our November project, our giveaways. You know, our donation quilts. I don't like that donation. We need something better. Like keep someone warm. November is keep someone warm. Keep someone warm, keep someone cozy. We need something, a good catchy name for November. But wheelchair quilts are fantastic. Fantastic. Or if you were doing, let's see, Julie. Oh my gosh, what a great fall quilt that is, Julie. Excellent job. I love the purples and that kind of deep teal color. Wow. Or turquoise. I love it. I absolutely love it. What a great, yeah, Madeline used a great use of scraps. Great use of scraps. Okay, here's one after my own heart. Laura Zervas. Laura, are you on? I know Laura's on. I want to do crocheted pumpkins this year. Look how adorable they came out. I'd love to do some larger, you know, you always see them like they're tabletop size. I'd love to do something that was maybe like where the bottom one was maybe 18 or 24 inches wide. And I could put them in my entryway right as you walk in. Very cool for all my crochet peeps. I do love this one. Trish. Laura, you did a fantastic job. Fantastic job, Laura. Trish, this Christmas tabletopper, I think is, man, I just love it. It's got such a great feel to it. Such a great kind of country feel to it. Oh, I love it. I love it. Jane Plant from last week put up her Scattered Falling Leaves tabletopper. She did a really great, Madeline said her scraps were the flying geese that she had left over from her bed runner and pillow shams, and she decided not to send them south for the winter. Congratulations, Madeline, saving saving all geese, one goose at a time. There we go. Trish for the win. Just quote, okay, Diane, we'll go back up and have to see the quilt that Diane posted for her pastor. Trisha's tabletopper, that Christmas tabletopper was fantastic. Jane, I don't know that Jane is on today, but Jane did a perfect, like, miniature version of the original Scattered Leaves pattern. This was the original quilt. This is basically what the original quilt looked like. You know, it had leaves on one side and leaves at the bottom. Excellent job, Jane. Excellent job. Okay, Donna. Look at those colors. Can you guys see those colors? That is beautiful. Wow. Pincushion chickens. Julie? Are those adorable? Those are adorable. You know, guys, so much of this stuff you could take to, you know, little shows, you know, craft fairs or craft shows. Oh my gosh. Yep. Mert, there's Mert's, the start of her table toppers or table runners. See, Donna, that's what I'm talking about. Like, that's what I need to do for that post in my entryway. Chickens! I love that. I love that, Donna. Hey, Donna, what was the width of this? Okay. Wow, look how adorable that is. This is Julie's second Scattered Leaves wall hanging that she made for her daughter. Wow. Great colors. Oh my gosh. It makes you want a pumpkin spice latte, doesn't it? Aren't these amazing creations? Julie. Ah, rag quilt. Rag quilt, rag quilt. Wow. Betsy, look at how pretty that is. Lap size. And this is out of that 3-yard quilt book that we are going to work out of. Our next big project is going to come out of that. And Betsy, I do thank you for sending me that book. I love, love, love it. I keep looking at it. Okay. I want to go back up real quick and see. Oh, geez. Here we go. I want to see. Okay, Diane. Oh my gosh, Diane. Holy cow. Diane made this for her pastor. The ark. The 3 crosses. Ah! Loaves and fishes. The manger scene. Splitting the waters. Or parting the sea. Splitting the waters. Gosh. He's risen. This is fantastic, Diane. Diane, excellent, excellent, excellent job. There's the burning bush. Oh, my goodness. I'll tell you what. Just amazing doesn't even begin. It really doesn't. Okay, I don't think anything's moved. Keep posting your pictures, guys. Don't forget, at the end of the month, which is coming up next week, we're going to give away, we'll put everybody's name in the hopper that's not a hopper. And, you guys, okay, that's Steve. We're working on a new website where you can be able to post your pictures a little bit easier. And there will be a community forum on it. Tons of talent. Oh my gosh. Show the ones on YouTube. Okay, hold on. Okay, we'll go over here to posts. Okay, are you guys ready? Diane said that was her very first applique quilt. Okay, on Wednesdays live, we'll do the posts on YouTube. How's that? Because right now, I want to press this down. You ready? Because it's starting to get late. Okay, we're doing it. So close your eyes. Please don't let those stupid acorns have moved. Here's what I wanted to talk about while we're pressing this. Somebody put a post on one of our channels that watching our channel, watching our shows, whatever, that gave her confidence. Basically something like seeing me try new things, seeing me do things where they weren't perfect, gave her confidence to try some of the things that she was afraid to, because she's been afraid to try to do some quilting things, or to quilt, or to sew, or to try new projects, or do applique. And that was why I'm a peeker. I have to peek. So I have to peek underneath. You know, the only thing that you should be afraid of is, you know, if you're trying a new project or whatever, and it was super, super expensive fabric, I could get being afraid, right? I could get being, you know, a little bit fearful of, or if somebody was paying you for a project, I could see being very apprehensive. But I want to tell you something. What? I'm a little afraid of this room. 10 points to anybody who knows what movie that was. I'll tell you. It was the movie with Tom Hanks. He was stuck in the airport. Layover? Takeaway? Not Castaway. Shoot. Anyway, he was stuck in the airport. And he says, so this guy makes him a deal, and he says, you know, just tell me that you're scared of going back to your country and you can stay here. And he goes, I'm not scared of that. I'm a little scared of this room. Okay, anyway. It was funnier up here. Don't be afraid. I know that's easier said than done, because I'm afraid too. I get afraid to put the stitch down because I forget that I can take it out. I'm afraid to glue something down because I forget that, you know what? Let's just see. Okay, the only thing I'm going to say is either my iron's not hot enough. It doesn't seem like it's ruining the wool, so I'm going to put a little bit of direct heat on it. Or I need to take it out to my ironing board where I have terminal. Thank you, Loretta. No steam. Okay, no steam. Don't be afraid. And when you're afraid of a project or something that you want to try, come here. Because if anyone should be afraid to do this stuff, it should be me. Because I have no clue what I'm doing half of the time. I use a 1/4 cup of common sense, a 1/4 cup of determination, and a 1/2 cup of excitement. And you'll be okay. But that's what this channel is about. This channel is not about, and you guys all reminded me of that today. This channel is not about getting it perfect. It's about making it your own. So if it's your own and it's got some imperfections, if the acorns are in the wrong piece, or if the squirrel's tail looks weird, that's mine. Oh, yeah. Oh. Oh, geez. I didn't take the paper off. See, if you're in doubt, seriously, just come here, because I do love that movie, Terminal. If you're in doubt, I just tried to iron this on and the paper was on. I mean, folks, come on. I watched a lady this morning and she was ironing her seams open, and her whole sewing room was so perfect. There weren't even, she was cutting threads. I don't know where they went. So you got to make it your own. And I thank all of you for reminding me of that today. Make it your own. Oh my gosh. Okay, wait, I just have to iron this one leaf. Don't go yet. Don't leave. It's trial and error. No one had a clue until we learned. Amen. Amen. I've told you guys this story before, so I'll tell it again. I'll tell you the abbreviated version. I wanted to learn how to crochet, and I started a bunch of projects, but I wasn't really finishing anything, and that was frustrating me. So I finally finished this one big wool, chunky wool blanket, blue, beautiful blue color. And in the middle of it were these like 6-inch or 8-inch stripes that went through the middle of it in kind of a teal color. It was supposed to be kind of representative of the ocean. Well, I wasn't really good when I started doing keeping my edges straight. So the edges on my blanket were always like all cockamamie. So I finished this blanket, and literally this is how the blanket finally was finished. First of all, it's about 12 feet long, and it's only about 36 inches wide. I don't even know what to call it. It's hardly a blanket. Okay, you want to hear something funny? I was drawing it where I had the iron down and the heat was... So this is basically how the blanket turned out. There was not a straight edge on the whole thing. And I finally finished it though. I was like, you know what? It's just ugly as the day is long, but it's finished and it's mine. And my mom came for a visit. We were still living in California. My mom came for a visit, and Steve said, Angela, show your mom the blanket you finished. And I was like, oh my God, I'm so embarrassed. Why would you say that? Why would you tell me to show it to her? It's an embarrassment. I shouldn't show it to anybody. And he said, go on and show her. He said she finished a blanket. She's very proud of it. I wasn't very proud of it. I went into the bedroom. I laid it out on the bed. My mom started to get tears in her eyes, and she said, it's so beautiful. She said, could I have it? And that was when I realized that well done is better than perfect. Okay? Okay. All right. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. Yes, we love Tom. Great. Tom Hanks. Oh my gosh. Downton Abbey. Steve took me to see Downton Abbey last night. First of all, we haven't been to the movies in a long time. It was a fortune. We paid $8 for a soda. We paid $12 for 2 hot dogs. I was stunned at how expensive it is. Just because we haven't gone in a long time. But I will tell you this. The movie was fantastic! If you haven't gone to see Downton Abbey and you're a Downton Abbey fan, go see it because it was really, really good. It was really, really good. And the book I'm reading right now is Nightshade by Michael Connelly. Very good at setting Catalina Island, Avalon Beach in Southern California, which is my old stomping ground. We used to go to Catalina all the time when I was a kid. Okay. Ready? Look! How cute is he? Oh my gosh. And look, they all stayed on. Be brave enough to be bad at something. Betsy. Amen, Betsy. Amen. My mom taught my son and my daughter. Diane, that's awesome. Thank you, Shannon. I'll have my mom, your leaf is on the other side of. Your leaf is on the other side. Did I put one of the leaves on the other side? Macrame? Ah, Steve used to do macrame. We don't do any of that stuff anymore. You know what we do? We scroll on our phones. It's a crying shame. It's a crying shame. Oh my gosh. This is so much fun. So now... Oh! Oh my god. Madeline! Okay, are you guys ready? Remember how I couldn't find that one leaf? I can't move it because it's glued on. Oh my God, that's hysterical. Well, I found the missing leaf. It's on the other side. Okay, so today while I'm watching the Ryder Cup, oh my God, that was hysterical. Today while I'm watching the Ryder Cup, I'm gonna give a little hand at some hand stitching on it. Okay, just a little bit. And if it's a total disaster, we'll deal with that later. And then I didn't buy the plate. So I'm going to go on So Cherished website and find out about the plate because I didn't buy the metal stand. I'm going to make that my trademark. In fact, on every one, we're going to put a little leaf on the back. Oh my God. Angela. Oh, I can't, Dubrovka. We have to leave it there. It has to stay there now. I am so glad that I opened this up and did it. Because this was a lot of fun. And it was a great palette cleanser. So tomorrow I will reach out and get some information from So Cherished about the year projects and about some of our other stuff. And we'll see what happens, okay? Okay, how will we ever get to 100,000 subscribers with our current talent? Excellent question. All good questions. You know, I thought I was the only one having trouble mentally today. Thanks for the laughs. You are very, very welcome. Anytime I can help. Anyway, I did love Downton Abbey. Even Steve enjoyed it. So it was fun. It was a great little date night. But it's expensive to go to the movies. And the sad thing was there's nobody there. There was us and maybe 5 or 6 other people in the theater, maybe, on a Saturday night at 6:45. Yeah, that was surprising. Okay, that's why you will get there, Steve. This is why we're gonna get to 100,000. Thanks. We all had a good time. Bye. Have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your Sunday. Go do something fun. Take off your shoes. Go walk in the grass or go sit outside or go stitch something, crochet something, sew something. Have a fantastic afternoon and a fabulous day tomorrow. I love you guys. And remember, only a 1/4 inch seam. See you guys tomorrow. Bye. I was drugged. Too late, Steve. We all know you liked it. Yeah, it's too late. You were laughing. I heard you laughing. Bye, everybody. Have a great weekend.